Government moves to toughen penalties for serious crimes. Police could carry firearms around the clock. Police launch nationwide Operation Restore Confidence. And Prime Minister Brown outlines possible ONDCP restructuring. Those are the headlines. The news in detail starts right now.
The local evening news is brought to you by Nagico, local agents Bryson's Insurance.
Good evening, welcome to ABS Evening News. Thank you for making us part of your Sunday evening. I am Jimmy Jeroshe. We're here because Prime Minister Right Honorable Gaston Brown says his government is moving from criticism to action in the debate over what he describes as lenient sentencing. Speaking Saturday on PBN's Brown and Brown show, he says legislation to introduce minimum penalties for some of the country's most serious crimes will go before Parliament within weeks. And another change could come as early as this week, targeting the one-third remission prisoners can receive while serving their sentences.
After days of a heated public dispute over sentencing and judicial independence, Prime Minister Gaston Brown is now putting legislative changes on the table. He says the first move will target the power of the prison superintendent to reduce the time an inmate actually serves. Then, government intends to take minimum sentencing to Parliament.
This is what we're going to do commencing next week. I've advised the Attorney General to cut the powers of the prison superintendent, and that going forward, he will not have the opportunity to give any one-third rebate. That's done. 2. We're going to Parliament shortly to change the sentencing guidelines. Under the sentencing guidelines, the maximum terms, we're going to increase the maximum term, and we're also going to introduce minimum penalties.
The proposed minimums would focus primarily on serious firearm offences, sexual offences against children, and repeat offenders. But the Prime Minister says government has not yet settled on the number of years that would form the statutory floor. He used 10 years as one possible example, while making clear judges would still need some room to depart from a minimum in exceptional circumstances.
That, for example, if you rape someone's child, especially if the person is a minor, we may decide, we haven't decided yet, I haven't consulted in it, but we may decide your minimum should be 10 years. Now, if a judge wants to give less than 10 years, they must justify it. We understand the need for discretion. And by the way, these terms will be primarily for repeat offenders.
Later in the program, the Prime Minister said he agrees in principle with Minister Rawdon Turner's proposal for a 15-year floor for the most serious child sex and firearm offences. Prime Minister Brown argues the reforms are needed because guilty plea discounts and prison remission can significantly reduce the time some offenders actually spend behind bars. The Prime Minister continues to reject claims he's trying to interfere in individual court cases. He says he accepts the principle of judicial independence, but insists sentencing policy and what he describes as systematic failures are legitimate matters for government and Parliament to address. Jimmy Jeroshe, ABS News.
In the meantime, government has decided police officers should generally be allowed to carry firearms around the clock, including while off duty. Prime Minister Gaston Brown says the administration also wants to make it easier for some business owners to get firearm licenses. While the Prime Minister says the current system can leave police officers vulnerable after returning their weapons at the end of a shift. He argues an officer could arrest a dangerous suspect only for that person to return to the street while the officer is off duty and unarmed.
As far as I'm concerned, every single officer, not only SSU, but throughout the force, unless they're irresponsible and deemed too irresponsible to carry a firearm, they should be equipped 24/7 with a firearm. So we held that discussion in Cabinet, and we have made a final determination.
So says government also believes it can be too difficult for business owners to get firearm licenses. He points to armed robberies targeting shops and other businesses and argues that the possibility of an owner being armed could serve as extra deterrent.
The time has come now for us to arm these shop operators, these business people, because we're making them very vulnerable, especially when they have to just depend on a camera. These people that are afraid of camera, they put on the mask, somebody can identify them. They go in there and they not only rob these people, they kill them. If at least they know that these business people are likely to have a firearm, I am of the view that it could serve as a deterrence.
Promise the Bound says any expansion of firearm access will have to come with training, safe storage, and other safeguards to reduce the risk of accidents or abuse. In the meantime, police say a new nationwide crime fighting drive dubbed Operation Restore Confidence will continue with targeted operations across Antigua and Barbuda. The Royal Police Force says the intelligence-led exercise has so far included search warrants, vehicle checkpoints, mobile patrols, and stop-and-search operations in several communities and known crime hotspots. During one operation earlier today, police seized an Astra Cub .25 caliber pistol and matching ammunition. 3 people were arrested on suspicion of unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition. Officers also recovered suspected stolen license plates and other items of interest, while several people were detained for questioning in ongoing investigations. Police say Operation Restore Confidence is not a one-off exercise. Similar operations are planned as officers continue to target illegal firearms, drugs, stolen property, and people wanted in connection with criminal investigations. Well, police have seized a firearm, ammunition, and a flare gun during 2 separate search operations in Villa and Grey Hill. Well, the first search was carried out at a home in Villa around 5:45 this morning by officers from several police units. Investigators say they found a firearm along with matching rounds of ammunition. 3 people at the home were arrested on suspicion of possession of firearm and ammunition and taken into custody at St. John's Police Station. In a separate search at Grey Hill, police say officers found a flare gun hidden inside a vehicle door. 1 person was arrested in connection with that discovery. Police say both operations form part of their intensified efforts to get illegal firearms, ammunition, and other potentially dangerous weapons off the streets. Investigations into both matters are continuing. In the meantime, Prime Minister Gaston Brown has now outlined how government could restructure national intelligence operations if problems at ONDCP continue. He says the agency's intelligence function could be moved to an expanded special branch within the police force. The Prime Minister first warned at last Monday's National Security meeting that the Office of National Drug and Money Laundering Control Policy could face closure if its intelligence gathering operations do not improve. But Saturday, he went further, saying government could make the intelligence arm redundant and build up a specialist unit within the police force.
The country will be better served if we create an arm within the police with people who are serious, people who are disciplined, who can be plain clothes. Just like, we have that section in the police force. When it comes to that, we can expand it. No. Special branch.
Unit.
Expand special branch. These are plain clothes officers we never see in police uniform. And have a proper functional intelligence unit.
The comments came as details were also disclosed from a brief identified as coming from ONDCP Director Lieutenant Colonel Edward Croft. Well, that document says reduced working hours have been in place since from before August last year, while staff withdrew from the building for 5 months beginning in February. It says government has since addressed mold, leaks, ventilation, and other concerns, while medical testing for staff was completed August 10. The brief also says the reduced staffing has affected operations, with full capacity now needed ahead of CHOGM 2026 and an upcoming CF-ATF mutual evaluation. Well, the Ministry of Sport and Creative Industries is exploring a wider partnership with Antigua Distillery in sport and the creative industries. You can tell this because the discussions took place during a meeting between Minister Dwayne George, Antigua Distillery Managing Director Anthony Bento, and Group Business Development Manager Ed Maturin. Well, the ministry says the possible partnership could extend to both constituency and national level programs. It has not yet said which specific projects could be included. The talks came a day after Premier Beverages, part of the Antigua Distillery Group, was announced as a major sponsor of Antigua and Barbuda's 45th independence celebrations. As part of that sponsorship, the company will produce a special 45th anniversary commemorative bottle of English Harbour rum. Oasis Water will also be the official water for 2026 independence celebrations and the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. While the flags of all 56 Commonwealth countries are set to become part of a major eco-art project ahead of CHOGM this year, while the flags will be created using recycled plastic bottle caps, showing how waste can be kept out of landfills and turned into something useful. While the first phase involves sorting and washing the caps, and organizers say they will need plenty of volunteers. Good Humans 268 President Josh Bennett Francis says the logistics will be worked out this week, with volunteers invited to join the project from Monday, August 24.
So we are going to do a series of volunteers to get the caps ready. We're going to wash them and prepare them for the actual activity. So the 24th will be the first day that we invite volunteers to come out to us in John Hughes. We should start the school tour the 9th, so the plan is to tackle all schools with the CHOGM Task Force.
The flags themselves are tentatively scheduled to be created in late September at Sir Vivian Richards Stadium.
Each flag is going to be about 3 feet by 4 feet. So we're making them into rectangles and not squares. Learned that the hard way. And the flags. So we're looking at about 30 plyboards combined.
Good Humans 268 has already been turning discarded materials into three-dimensional art. The group has also partnered with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to bring the CHOGM logo to life, and with Menace XL on the 10-foot teddy bear displayed at Carnival City this year. Well, the Halo Foundation is extending its Future Bright with the Gift of Sight initiative for a third year. The program is being carried out in partnership with Progressive Vision and the Embassy of Switzerland in Antigua and Barbuda. Well, so far, it has assisted more than 300 people, including children, senior citizens, and other vulnerable individuals. Halo Foundation President, Her Excellency Lady Williams, has thanked the program's partners for supporting access to quality eye care. The team says it hopes to reach even more people this year, providing free comprehensive eye examinations and prescription eyeglasses. Well, anyone in need of assistance or who knows someone who could benefit has been encouraged to contact the Halo Foundation at 562-9153 or email the foundationhalo@gmail.com. Well, a Dominican-born Antiguan author and Princess Margaret School alumna has turned her son's developmental journey into a children's book with a simple message: see the child before the label. Well, Des Raposo officially launched My Name is Santo in the Dominican Republic earlier this month. The book is inspired by her son, Santo, and is told from his point of view. Well, through his own voice, readers are introduced to his family, school, interests, and the way he experiences the world. Pozo says the story is written for children, but it's also a message for the adults reading with them. She wants them to look beyond labels or developmental delays and see the child, their personality, interests, and individuality. Well, the book's central message is, I am not a label, I am not a delay. Pozo was born in the Dominican Republic, but came to Antigua when she was just 1 month old. She grew up here, attended Princess Margaret School, and is also an Antiguan and Barbudan citizen. She says she hopes Santo's story will connect with children and families in Antigua as well. My Name is Santo is available on Amazon in English and Spanish. Well, it's now time to shift our focus to the skies. Of course, the heat is sticking around, and Orvin Page is also keeping an eye on the Atlantic after the passage of that tropical wave. Your wind and weather is up next after the break.
The weather report is brought to you by Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection. When the skies are clear and the winds are calm, we often forget how unpredictable Mother Nature can be. But when a hurricane strikes, it's the strength of your home that matters most. Whether you are preparing for your first storm or looking to upgrade your current protection, Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection has got you covered. Our expert team handles everything from custom design to professional installation, ensuring your home is as strong as it is beautiful. Call today for a free consultation. Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection, built strong to weather any storm.
Welcome to this evening's weather report. I'm your presenter, Orvin Page. Well, after the passage of the tropical wave, which now located across portions of Hispaniola, lots of dry and stable conditions returned to the Eastern Caribbean, to include Antigua and Barbuda. For today, Sunday, we had mostly partly cloudy skies. We had a fair amount of sunny skies as well, and the winds out of the east between 12 and 18 miles per hour. We did get to a high temperature, and this was mainly over Barbuda, 34 degrees Celsius, 93 degrees Fahrenheit. So far for the month, our rainfall total still at 22.9 millimeters, or 0.90 inch. Some low-level cloud patches to the east of the islands, but the atmosphere is rather dry at the moment, and if any shower activity develops from these low-level cloud patches, it will be rather light and brief. Meanwhile, this area of convective activity, identifying what was once AL92, continues to weaken as it moves further towards the west, bringing showers and possible thunderstorms across portions of Hispaniola and maybe even across Jamaica. We're turning our attention to the Atlantic Ocean, and there's a tropical wave just east of the islands. Quite a bit of convective activity, but it is not showing any signs of development into any organized system. A second tropical wave further towards the east, very disorganized at the moment. Nothing in the Atlantic is showing any signs of organization and possible development at this moment into tropical cyclones. For tomorrow, expect to see partly cloudy skies, a high temperature 93 degrees Fahrenheit, winds out of the east at 6 to 12 miles per hour, and the sunrise at 5:51, sunset at 6:31. Only a 30% chance of showers on tap for tomorrow. For tonight, however, mostly fair skies. The winds from the east subsiding to around 6 to 12 miles per hour, setting up a low temperature, a rather warm 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat wave continuing across Antigua and Barbuda for the third day, and you will notice the nighttime temperature, which is really the indicator of the body's ability whether the body is cooling sufficiently. These high temperatures causing tremendous stress on the body, and you will see from our next graphic that the next couple of days, because the winds are likely to subside all the way down to 3 to 10 knots, 6 to 12 miles per hour, rather 3 to 10 miles per hour, the next couple of days would be rather hot. You'll notice the daytime temperatures in the low 90s. It means the heat will be on for the next couple of days across Antigua and Barbuda, sounding the alarm for persons to be hydrated, limit the exposure to direct sunlight, because this excessive heat could create some problems, especially for the more vulnerable demographics across our communities. And finally, the marine conditions, is a small craft advisory in play, because seas are really subsiding from once 8 to 12 feet with the passage of the remnants of AL92, now down to 5 to 7 feet, advisory in play, but we will review this over the next 24 hours, and this will likely be lifted. The winds over open waters from the east at 10 to 16 miles per hour. The next high tide tonight at 7:29, and the next low tide, of course, at 2:29 in the morning. So that concludes the weather package for this evening, but if you see something spectacular you want to share with us, that we may share it with the rest of the world, send them to ABMS iWatch. Of course, we are on WhatsApp, our channel 729-5116. That concludes the weather package. It's back to the news anchor.
All right, thanks, Orvin. So keep the water close, limit that time in the direct sun, and for now, some good news from the Atlantic. Still ahead, in sports, Antigua and Barbuda's young footballers get their CFU Challenge Series campaign on the way. Sports is next, after the break.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like your boat when you're at sea and you get away from everything. Your home and the security of your daughter's things. And the car that you've had for too long, but after all these years, you just can't let go. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
On your mark.
For the mornings you were up before the sun.
Get set.
For the nights you stayed longer than everyone else. And for the moments you pushed yourself beyond what you thought was possible. ECAP is here with you to help you cross the finish line. Introducing the ECAP Game Changers Scholarship, a one-time grant of 25,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars for one exceptional student athlete in track and field, football, or swimming who has received a partial scholarship to study abroad. If you are a resident of Antigua and Barbuda, aged 14 to 21, and entering your first year of study, this is your moment. Get recommended by your coach, write your 500-word essay, and apply today. Visit ecabank.com or email gamechangers@ecabank.com for more information. Applications close August 21st, 2026. The Eastern Caribbean Amalgamated Bank. Our future, our bank.
From Booster Seeds, I carry no cash. I tap and pay, I'm done in a flash.
Adventure is done, we grab a bite. I tap my card, it feels just right.
We booked our trip and paid with ease. Checked my rewards, upgrade, yes please.
Paid it online while out with the crew. Tap for drinks, it's easy to do.
They tap, I drive. It's quick, it's clear, no counting cash or waiting here.
I use my card to keep things smooth. And my rewards? Wow, they really move.
ACB Visa Credit Card. My life, my card, my rewards. Get yours today. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the ABS Evening News. It's now time for your sporting update. Well, I think in Barbados, under 14 footballers are off to a winning start in the CFU Challenge Series in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. They opened their campaign with a 3-1 victory over the Cayman Islands. Here's more in this report.
Kaik Martin was found unmarked at the far post, and he made no mistake in firing his shot back across the diving Cayman Island custodian. It was the only goal of the first half. Then early in the second period, Cayman Islands equalized with a well-worked goal. Tevin Henderson put Antigua and Barbuda back in front with a superb effort in the 57th minute. Then Henderson turned provider, created space from his marker and found Alan Henry unmarked in front of goal as Henry tapped home Antigua and Barbuda's third. The Antiguans will next face Turks and Caicos on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Terry Andrew, ABS Sports.
In other sporting developments, Glanville's Football Club has recognized the achievements of its players during an awards ceremony at the Glanville's Polyclinic. More in this report.
President of the Glanville's Football Club, Vernon Cactus Spencer, expresses gratitude to the club's sponsors, executive members and players for their sacrifice throughout the years.
Football is more than just a game. It teaches us teamwork, sacrifice, determination, and the importance of believing in one another. Every time you step onto this field, You represent Glanville's, Seagland's community. With pride, and for that, we are truly grateful.
The club thanked its sponsors, Murphy's Eastside Grocery and Service Station, Stingray City Antigua, the Honorable Randy Baltimore, Telly Cornelius, Alex Brown, and teacher Audrey Spencer's Scholarship Foundation. The Golden Booth awardee, Rashawn Martin, was recognized for his goal-scoring prowess. The MVP award went to goalkeeper Robbie George. The Most Improved award went to Zion De Silva and to John Simon. Andre received the Fair Play Award, and the Leadership Award went to Kadeem St. John and Roshane Burton. Terry Andrew, ABS Sports.
In the meantime, Premier League champions Arsenal have sent an early warning to their rivals, beating Manchester City to lift the 2026 Community Shield in Cardiff. Mikel Arteta's side wasted no time getting started, with Ricardo Calafiori scoring after just 23 seconds. Kai Havertz doubled the lead in the 28th minute. 2 minutes after the break, Martin Odegaard finished from close range to put Arsenal 3-0 up. The win over the FA Cup holders gives the Gunners their second trophy in 4 months and the 18th Community Shield title. Well, Antigua and Barbuda's women's volleyball team is battling Bermuda for gold in the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Association Senior Championships in Tortola, BVI. The Antiguans booked their place in the final with 3-1 win over defending champion St. Lucia. They won 25-22, 16-25, 25-23, and 25-23 to remain unbeaten and set up the gold medal clash with Bermuda. On the men's side, Antigua and Barbuda won its final 2 matches against Anguilla and Grenada. However, that team is out of the medal contention. Well, Jamaica Kingsmen have their first win in the 2026 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League. They beat defending champions Trinbago Knight Riders by 5 wickets at Sabina Park. Chasing 183 for victory, Kirk McKenzie set the tone with a blistering 69 from just 25 balls. Lisa Hendricks added 34 before Rovman Powell's 29 and Andrew Russell's 27 helped guide the home side to 183 for 5. Usman Tariq took 3 for 21 for the Knight Riders. Earlier, Trinbago posted 182 for 6. Nicholas Peran and Kieran Pollard made 44 each, while Alex Hills added 29. Russell and Hunain Shah took 2 wickets each. Well, tonight, the St. Lucia Kings are taking on the Barbados Tridents in St. Lucia. That match bowled off at 7 p.m. Well, Trinidad and Tobago's under-19 women are CWI Rising Stars champion. They beat Barbados by 6 wickets in the final at Coolidge Cricket Ground. Trinidad and Tobago successfully chased 105 for victory, reaching the target in 19 overs. Amrita Ramthal top scored with 29, while Zanaya Bruce took 2 for 18 for Barbados. Earlier, Barbados made 104 for 5 from 820 overs. Bruce top scored with an unbeaten 30, while Samarin Nadu took 3 for 18. In the third place playoff, Jamaica beat the Leeward Islands by 5 wickets, and Guyana claimed 5th place with a 54-1 win over the Windward Islands. In the meantime, a 31-year-old Cuban man has pleaded guilty in the United States to charges linked to migrant smuggling and a money laundering operation. We'll have that story when we come back after the break with our regional developments. Stay tuned.
Reporting live from Caribbean Union Bank's press conference, where bank representatives will address its customers and the media, explaining just how CUB simplifies life through its financing.
Today, my team and I will share with you how CUB's financial solutions are designed to simplify your life. Now, let's open the floor for any questions that you may have.
How can you help me as a retiree?
That's a good question. We offer customized retirement solutions at competitive rates.
How easy is it for me to switch my mortgage to CUB?
With attractive interest rates and minimal switching fees, CUB makes switching mortgages easy.
Do you offer point-of-sale machines?
Absolutely. All point-of-sale systems can speed up checkout and boost sales.
Those were great questions, and our team is here to further support you. We're Caribbean Union Bank, the bank that cares, and our doors are open to welcome you.
Welcome back. It's now time for a look at regional developments on ABS Evening News. Well, a 31-year-old has pleaded guilty in the United States to charges linked to a migrant smuggling and money laundering operation. Prosecutors say the scheme helped thousands of Cuban nationals and other migrants enter the U.S. illegally. Well, the U.S. Attorney's District Office for Middle District of Florida says Uniel Lima Santos, a Tampa resident, conspired with others to run the operation. Authorities say the group encouraged or helped thousands of Cubans to enter the United States through the southern border. Prosecutors also say the organization helped migrants fraudulently use the electronic system for travel authorization and visa waivers. Court documents say the group advertised smuggling and fraudulent visa services on several social media platforms. The services targeted Cubans and other migrants seeking to enter the United States and obtain legal immigration status. It's now time for another break here. Still ahead in international news, a deadly bus crash in Hungary leaves 12 dead and several others seriously injured. Stay tuned. International developments are next.
And we're done. Oh my God, this looks so nice. You are a magician, girl. Tell me, how much I have for you again? $150? Okay. I only have $130. I went to the gas station this morning.
No worries, I have eCap Tap to Pay. I can use my Android phone or Android tablet to receive payments.
Okay, girl, let me let my card. I absolutely love the fact that you're with the times.
Thank you.
Yes, girl.
Call eCap at 480-6186 or email card services at ecabank.com to apply for a Tap to Pay feature.
Welcome back to ABS Evening News. It's now time for international developments. Well, 12 people have been killed and at least 10 others seriously injured after a bus carrying Polish pilgrims crashed in eastern Hungary. Authorities say the bus, which had 57 people on board, left the motorway, went into a ditch and overturned. Here's more from Reuters.
Emergency crews worked to remove the mangled wreckage of a Polish bus on Sunday after it veered off a motorway in eastern Hungary. A dozen people were killed and at least 10 others were seriously injured in the crash. In a Facebook post, the Prime Minister of Hungary said the bus had run into a ditch and tipped over at around 1 a.m. Crash survivor Helena Wójcik spoke to Reuters from her hospital bed about the ordeal.
I
was talking at that moment. I was talking on the phone with a friend back in Poland, and suddenly, boom, the bus just tipped over. It rolled, and I hit my head. But I was conscious enough to know what had happened, because all the seats were ripped out. People were under the seats. Everyone was screaming for help. I am also a victim. I have my shoulder cracked, broken ribs. My spine is also damaged.
Wójcik also said she managed to pull 2 people out, including her sister, before collapsing. The bus, carrying 57 pilgrims and 2 drivers, was returning to Poland from a shrine to the Virgin Mary at Medjugorje in southeastern Bosnia.
Well, that's where we leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us here on ABS Television. I am Jamie Jeroshe. Have a safe and peaceful night.
Certified Samson, and I'm watching ABS TV. You should too. I'm out.